Okay, so the Unholy Trinity. This is the new film from Richard Gray, who directs it. Right, it is written by Lee Zachariah. The film is produced by we've got Cameron Lessard, Richard Gray, Michelle Gray, Kelly Brooks, Carter Boehm, and Janine Algood. It is executive produced by Lionel Hicks, Lee Matthews, Jerome Ragana Coffin, and Sebastian Simon. It is associate produced by Laura Roll. It is co-produced by Eric Belgu and Steve Jaggi, along with Kylie Pascoe. And it is co-executive produced by James DiGiacomo with Colin Flume online production. Okay, so Marco Beltrami and Tristan Beltrami took care of the music. Thomas Scott Stanton is on cinematography, with Lee Smith editing the piece. Right, Elaine Granger handled all the casting. Production design is Tesla Hastings. Lauren Norby is set decoration. Costume design is Vicky Hales. Hair and makeup, we've got Melissa Oteri, Lauren Litwin, Sierra Rose Griffin, Jake Garber, and Macy Barry. Right. I think then we go to our cast. Right. We do have stunt performers listed. So we got Duncan Vezane, Alex Terzif, Ryan Stutz, Diz Sharp, Casey McDonald, Robert Majuris, Cyrus Lisey, Kevin Gomez, Clarence Gillum, Danny Edmo, Stu Brumbaugh, and Casey Bird, all taking care of the stunts and our cast. Right, so we have got Pierce Brosnan as Sheriff Gabriel Dove. Right, his wife, Sarah, is played by Veronica Ferez. Right, we then have got Isaac Broadway, played by Tim Daly. His son Henry is played by Brandon Lessard. Isaac's former partner St. Christopher is played by Samuel Jackson. We've got Gideon, played by Gianni Calpaldi. There's Julia, played by Katrina Bowden. A daughter's not listed, a daughter Mabel, but her friend, her daughter Mabel is listed. So Mabel is played by Eddie Gray. Then there's Rachel, Julie's friend, played by Stephanie Hernandez. We've got the Madam of the whorehouse, played by Tina Buckingham. There is the Beatons, right? So, Rachel's baby's husband. Well, not even her husband. It's just, the dude, right? Asa, he is played by Bo Knapp, right? And he's got a string of relatives, right? So there's Austin Benton, played by Anthony J. Sharp. There is, oh gosh, where are the rest of them? Dum, dum, dum. Red Benton, played by Tim Montana. Butch Benton, played by Bo Linnell. Their sister Nora, played by Isabella Ruby. We also have got Charlie, played by Chuck Matthews. Macaulay, played by Nick Farnell. Duster Beck is the Undertaker. Thomas, played by Paris Brosnan. There is the Innkeeper, played by Kelton Cole. Sam Scarborough, played by Ethan Peck. Father Jacob, played by David Arquette. Running Club, right? She is played by Kuranka Kilker. I feel that's probably our main group of people. So the gist: buried secrets of an 1870s Montana town spark violence when a young man returns to reclaim his legacy and is caught between a sheriff determined to maintain order and a mysterious stranger hell-bent on destroying it. So yes, that, I mean, it's kind of the film, but not quite, right? So the good people at Signature sent this one across. And yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It's it feels a little convoluted. Like, we start off with, basically, we've got some prisoners. Like, you can tell by the get-up, right? So they're prisoners. It is Isaac Broadway. And he's getting led to the gallows. There's a guy in the crowd, a young man in the crowd, turns out to be his son, Henry. And his dad is just like, I was set up, I was betrayed. You need to go and deal with the sheriff, right? So with the urn of the ashes, that's what Henry does. He sets out to get to Trinity to find the person that killed his dad, supposedly. And that all unravels this whole craziness, right? Because he's befriended, kind of fed a pack of lies, and we're kind of on that journey as he's learning the truth and who to trust and all of this. But it's just not that consistent, right? It's like, it's getting played like he's very naive, but then he seems to know the wherewithal to do certain things. Right? There's bits where he's afraid to pick up a gun, and then he's all willy-nilly shooting. Right? It's just a bit all over the place. There's no arc, right? There's no learning curve here. It's just suddenly you don't know. Oh, now you know, right? There's even the crazy, right? There's a bit where he's just like, oh, I don't drink, right? There's someone buys him a whiskey. It's like, I don't drink, and then a bit later he does drink a glass of whiskey, and he just knocks it back, and it's like, if you don't drink, right? And then you drink a shot of whiskey, you're gonna feel that, right? You're going to, and especially, I imagine that the whiskey back then was not smooth, right? They weren't letting it age for 12, 21 years. You know, they weren't doing any of that. It was just like, oh, we just made some. Here you go. Right? So it's going to make you cough. It's going to hit you. But he just knocks his whiskey back like it's nothing. Doesn't even grimace at the taste. And then at the end of the film, we see him have another shot. And then we see him kind of do a little grimace. And you're just like, yeah, this is kind of nutty. Like the shots of the whiskey throughout the film are all over the place as well. Like at the beginning, it's just a little, you know, it's a shot. Then we see them get glasses that are pretty full. And you're just like, yeah, this is weird. There's no consistency, as I say, right? I mean, watching this, you imagine, especially, right, Samuel Jackson is having a blast. And there's these certain indie films that Jackson is in, and he plays a lot of times these unhinged, maniacal kind of characters. And yeah, I imagine that is great for him, you know? Especially, you know, the last few years where he's been playing Nick Fury and right these kind of roles where you have to be a bit more maintained. So he's living it up. He's having fun. He's getting paid. But the performances are kind of all over the place. You know what I mean? Like the emotion it's not where it should be a lot of the times, right? There's a lot of overacting, underacting, non-acting. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that across the board here, which is a real shame because a Western can be great, right? And when you think we recently just had The Thicket, which just showed us what a Western could be. Because we've had a few dodgy Westerns in the last few years, you know? Like it all got, you know, back in the day, right? You had, Young Guns was fun. It wasn't perfect, but it was fun, right? You had Tombstone, you know what I mean? You've got Old Country for Blind. Old Country, not for blind men. Old Country for no men. There should be blood. Like, there's been some good ones. And of late, you know, we've got the whole Yellowstone situation. So we've seen Westerns done well, right? And as I said, The Thicket, boom, killed it, right? Killed it. So it's a shame, like, when you get things like the Unholy Trinity, because when you look at the cast is very good. But they just fall down on other elements. Like looking at everyone's get-up, right? The costume department. They put together some good garbs. Problem is, everything looks so new, right? It looks so new. And you just think, all of these people living in this town, right? This backwater town, dusty as a motherfucker, right? And their clothes are fresh, no dust, no dirt, no grime, no wear and tear, nothing at all. And you're just like, that's not plausible, you know? Especially you have people like, you know, riding through, being on carriages, do all of this, fighting in the dirt, and their clothes still are crisp. So it's very odd. You have people in fights, and there's not any real damage, right? They try and put a bruise on Henry's face, but the bruise stays the same, doesn't get any darker, which that kind of bruise would. Right? Doesn't get any darker. Right? Doesn't go that weird color. You know? Sometimes people got a little bit of blood on them. But then that's it. When in theory, that would be leaking all over the place, right? There's a bit when who is it? It's Pierce Brosnan's character, Gabriel, gets shot in the... No, it's not. It's Henry gets shot in the leg. My bad. And he's limping, but there's no blood dripping where, like, after he's dragging his leg. Like, and you're just like, huh? You have people that are meant to be savvy, right? Meant to be savvy and can understand what the world is, right? So Gabriel's wife, Sarah. But when you get someone giving her a story that is clearly full of shit, she's just like, oh yeah, I'm buying this. And you're just like, I mean, like, it wasn't even told well. No one would buy that story, right? Again, she's seen everything, heard everything, but someone says something and then she's all freezing, and you're just like, would you really? Would you really? You know, it's just these weird things which they're doing to take the story to the next place, right? So you see that. But you're now having the character play against grain, right? Play in a way that doesn't make any sense for what you have done with the character leading up to this moment. You know what I mean? It's just all of these odd things. You have people, supposedly, right? You've got oh my god, what's the running club, right? You've got her now. Obviously, she's Native American, right? And they are expert trackers, but you have people creeping up on her, and you're just like, I mean, she would know, right? She would know. Because her parents were guides and all of this, so they would have even passed that. So it's not even because she automatically no. It's like her parents would have taught her all of this stuff and all of it. You know what I mean? It's just these things that make sense, right? You have people, just the shooting part of it, when a gun isn't even lined up on someone and then someone's dropping, or when you are shooting directly at someone and then not dropping, right? It's just these weird things. Shooting through a window. Look, these are shitty bullets back then, or just powder, right? So that window is going to throw the trajectory of a bullet. Right? It's just the things that aren't getting taken into any sort of consideration. That is what is so baffling with this. You know what I mean? So baffling. And then you have these other weird scenes. Like there's a bit towards the end, right, where you've got frigging Rachel. And someone's like, oh, thanks, Rachel, for, not keeping to, giving an exception to your rule. And you're just like, I don't know why this scene is even here. Right? Like, this is a weird thing to throw in. And it's just a lot of these things make this story very uneven. You know what I mean? It's just got this disjointed feel to it, right? And I was hoping for so much more, which is a hell of a shame. Accents are all over the place. It's an odd one. The Unholy Trinity is a odd film, unfortunately. I'm kind of like, I don't know, right? Because Pierce Brosnan even has made some kind of ropey films, right? The last few years. And probably if you're a fan of some of those, you might enjoy this, right? Like stuff like Fast Charlie was kind of, it wasn't the best. Now, it wasn't terrible, but it could have been better, right? Like, oh, the Netflix film he did, The Outlaws, not good. But I guess this is along that type of acting. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you enjoyed that, then you might get along with the Unholy Trinity. You know, I get it's kind of a similar thing with Sam, right? Some of his, you know, indie films have been rather ropey, right? So if you've been a fan of some of those, right, then I think you might like this. And unfortunately, we've had the opportunity to look at some of those ropey ass films. You know what I mean? Yeah, we looked at some of those, boy, and you do think, oh, if only I could get that time back. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so if you think about stuff like, oh boy, what have we got? What have we got? Oof, Damaged, right? Damaged or Argyle. Whew. You know, if those kind of things are your cup of tea, then yeah, Unholy Trinity is going to be for you. So, people, it is, man, it's dropping on, it's dropping on the 7th, right? That's when it's going to be available on VODs. And on the 21st of July is when it will be available on DVD, if that's your bag, right? So keep those dates in mind. That was the Unholy Trinity.